Welcome back, fellow faithful, to your daily digest. There's an elephant in the room that isn't discussed enough, and considering the tension in the United States when it comes to Islam overall, I wanted to bring an uncomfortable topic in front of us to close out the week. I would like to make a disclaimer before we get started that what you're about to see does not represent every individual that follows Islam. It's very important that we remember, as believers, we are not attacking Muslims because they are no different than anyone else who is separated from a relationship with God. We want to ensure that we're focusing the conversation on the religion itself, its foundation, and having a genuine, honest conversation about how Islam has been utilized by some countries around the world to create environments that, at absolute best, are still disgusting. Take a look at this video here. That video was translated as "Sad Reality, Pregnant Child Beside Her Husband in Pakistan." This is something that actually shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone who watches this video. We've heard rumors at worst and at best have actual verifiable proof that throughout the world, child marriage is something that unfortunately happens all too often. When we look at certain countries, we see that not only does it exist, it's something that isn't pushed back on anywhere near enough. This is happening to children across the globe, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their background or religious affiliation. Take a look at CNN's expose that came out recently about a young child who had to experience this situation.
My father has sold me because we don't have bread, rice and flour. He has sold me to an old man. He's bought Parwana for 200,000 Afghanis, just over $2,000 US. Covered up, Parwana whimpers as her mother holds her. "This is your bride, please take care of her," says Parwana's father. "Of course I will take care of her," replies the man. His large hands grab her small frame. Parwana tries to pull away. As he carries her only bag of belongings, she again resists, digging her heels into the dirt. But it's futile. The fate of this small, helpless child has been sealed.
As you go through your prayers this weekend, I ask that you continue to keep that young woman in your prayers. There's a lot of young children out there, a lot of young girls out there that are powerless to push back against this tradition that has been spread throughout a lot of countries, and Islam has been utilized by many of them to justify this. But remember, every time something like this comes up, there will be a large amount of individuals that say, no, this can't possibly be the case. Take a look at this tweet. Bayram said, "Islam has no such practice. You cannot defame Islam with fabricated or unverified claims. Child abuse is forbidden in Islam. If this woman is spreading hate with lies, Muslims in America should challenge it legally rather than let such slander go unanswered." Unfortunately, that is not the least bit factually correct. It makes sense, maybe coming from Turkey, like he is, to say that something like this is absolutely insane and impossible, because in Turkey, this is something that is absolutely insane and impossible. But while many Muslim scholars reject interpretations of Islam that lead towards child marriage, some countries and religious actors have appealed to certain interpretations of Islamic law to justify child marriage and challenge its restrictions, including Yemen, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iraq, which, by the way, makes up about 20% of Muslims worldwide. So in other words, 1 out of 5 Muslims are represented by countries that have utilized Islam to increase or support child marriage. But unfortunately, that reality is more than just girls being sold into child marriage or being pushed that way by their families. Take a look at this. Ramona Lee said, "What most people don't realize is that some of these girls disfigure themselves with acid or fire so that the old man who is their husband will divorce them. I read about this several years ago. They have their own little community. They are badly disfigured, but happy not to be raped." We oftentimes don't think about the harsh realities around us because we live in the United States and understand there are still 50,000 children that go missing in this country alone, and we never know what winds up happening to them. We have to make sure we are awake to the reality around us and not being distracted by what mainstream media or what entertainment media is putting in front of us. Because slowly but surely, we're seeing the nation change around us, and something that seems a little bit silly or a little bit extreme, absolutely impossible to imagine for our country, could be right around the corner. Take a look. Heartland Grump, Unfiltered, said the United States allows children to take hormone blockers and amputates their healthy sex organs. If we can allow that, then allowing children to be sold as brides is the next logical step in depravity. While it may not be the next logical step, I don't think there's any logic associated with any of that. He does make a good point. 20 years ago, it was unimaginable that we would live in a nation that looks like this. And now this is our reality. We can't be silent about this. The first step in helping these children around the world is by speaking up and having conversations that are going to infuriate some people and potentially be uncomfortable. But what does scripture tell us to do? Take a look. Proverbs chapter 31, verses 8 through 9. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. What's going to happen in the next 20 years if believers do not stand up, do not go out and serve, don't come together and try to do everything that we can in the name of Christ with compassion, with wisdom behind us? We don't know what this country will look like moving forward. What do you think about everything happening in the world? Was this a wake-up call to you, or is this something that you think should be talked about more often? Leave your answer in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Daily Digest from the Garden Project Radio.